So the people that you grow up around, or that you are constantly around, or that have known you for a long time, people in your hometown, so to speak, or family members, they see you in a certain way that is, they have a picture, an image in their mind of you and of who they believe you to be. That is obstructing the image that you have of yourself. You see what I'm saying? It's conflicting. It causes a type of a dissonance, or even a disconnect. They perceive you as this, you perceive yourself as this, okay? These are people who are, I would say, more or less familiar with you. You see what I'm saying? They don't really believe in you, not like the way that they should, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of like the desire, the will to want and do more for yourself. Those who grew up around you and who don't really have that, or who don't have it who might not have it to the extent that you do, they're going to more or less watch you to see how you're going to perform or how you progress. You know what I mean? They're just going to sit back and watch. No comments, no nothing really. They're just going to watch you, see how far you go, see if you crash, etc., etc. But the reason I say this is because, again, your friends, family, and people you're close to, and people in your hometown, they're not going to support your vision like strangers will, or like new audiences, new attention, new eyes, new ears. You see what I'm saying? So new environments, new people, new attention. All of this can go into your pot, I would say, as far as developing yourself and developing your goals and your task and mission, okay? We want those supporters, and we want that attention, and we want to create community. We want to cultivate like I said, a community, a sense of family, a sense of like-mindedness, you feel me?
This is something that I do not enjoy as a spiritual person. As a spiritual person who's highly intelligent, that don't think like a dumbass zombie, who just follow whatever slave owners like teach us to follow, or what slave owners say is right. This is not fun. Like, being a spiritual person, there will be people that you were known for like a long time, since you was a child, since you was like the age of 2 or something like that. And it's been like 30 plus years. And those people that known you for 30 plus years, for example, they only have a false perception of who they think that you are, right? So the people that have a false perception of who they think you are, they know you for like a long time. They don't really know you like that. They are not going to see you the way that you see yourself. It's just not going to happen. They refuse to do that, because the people that known you for a long time, if they have a false perception of who they think you are, they're going to try to make you be who they want you to be, right? And they're just going to like ignore anything that you share that expresses who you really are, right? And the people that can see you the way that you see yourself, those are going to be people that you meet in the future. This is the problem that we spiritual people go through. We spiritual people go through this shit all the time, man. I'm not the only one. It's a whole bunch of spiritual people in different countries on planet Earth going through the same thing I go through. Going through the same thing I go through. Like, what is the whole point of knowing somebody for a long time if all you're gonna do is have a false perception of who you think they are, and then you're gonna try to turn that spiritual person into who you want that spiritual person to be, and you're just gonna neglect that spiritual person that shows how she or how he is of what they truly are through the talents that expresses who they are, right? Like, there's some spiritual people out there that's like super athletic, right? There's some spiritual people out there that's super athletic. They show their personality through their athleticism, the things that they do, whether it's like gymnastics, all the different type of martial arts and some shit like that, right? Or some type of sport. But those same people that known that spiritual person for a long time, it might have been like a biological father, a biological mother, whoever, a coworker, a local, a classmate, you know, any type of local that's a zombie, right? The people that have a false perception of that spiritual person who expresses themselves through their particular talents, those people that known that person for a long time is not going to be able to accept that spiritual person the way that spiritual person see themselves, right? You know, those are the type of people, the people that have a false perception of who they think that you are and try to make you be who they want you to be. You can't really be around those people. You can't talk to those people, man. Like, and another thing you got to get out the way, you gotta get that skin color stuff out the way. You got to stop following this skin color stuff, because look, it could be people. You could take like 5,000 dark skinned people. You could take a bunch of 5,000 dark skinned people in Louisiana, and that dark skinned person that's been growing up all the way in Jamaica or some shit like that. That one individual who grew up in Jamaica that come across these 5,000 dark skinned people in Louisiana, that dark skinned person in Jamaica is not going to be able to fit in with those dark skinned people in Louisiana, because those 5,000 dark skinned people in Louisiana move different from that dark skinned person in Jamaica. So like, this is my point exactly. Like, those who have a false perception of who they think that you are, man, like, it is not even worth it. It's not even worth your energy to try to like get those people who have a false perception of who they think you are, try to get them to see you the way that you see yourself. It's too stressful, man. It's too stressful. It's too stressful. So family, this is a very important fact. Like, check this out. Us spiritual beings, we feel very uncomfortable living in locations where a bunch of locals are not spiritual beings, and these locals are zombie, soulless vibrational beings, where there might be a father, a mother, a sister, a cousin, or a co-worker, or local neighbors, any local that see us spiritual beings. You know, these zombies, they want to keep us spiritual, soulful, vibrational beings stagnant and suffer and depressed in local locations where we don't get support, because zombie locals, soulless vibrational zombie locals, know that if soulful, vibrational, spiritual beings are living in locations where it's a bunch of spiritual, soulful, vibrational beings who will celebrate us, it will irritate and intimidate these soulless, vibrational zombies that are local to a spiritual being. For example, when it comes to spiritual beings that grow up in local locations where they're not supported by a lot of locals, because the spiritual being is so highly talented and so spiritually intelligent. Look, for example, a spiritual being can have a biological father, a biological mother, a biological sister, co-worker, any local. And those locals that see that spiritual being that they knew for a long time, they have a false perception of what that spiritual being is in their head. But when a spiritual being was to tell their biological parents or locals or co-workers that they want to move to Los Angeles, California, or Seoul, South Korea, so they could be around spiritual beings who celebrate them and love them for their personality and their spiritual intelligence, it's going to make that spiritual being's biological parents and co-workers and a bunch of other zombie locals be very upset, and that's where the whole disconnection starts, you know. So with that being said, when it comes to us soulful, vibrational, spiritual beings, that suffer so much in these local locations where we have like biological parents or zombie, soulless, vibrational local neighbors or co-workers that don't support our visions, that we would like to expand our talents on and our personality on, you know, those zombie locals, they only have a false perception of who that spiritual being is. And like me, myself, as a spiritual being, I don't talk to anyone who has a false perception of who they think that I am, and they don't see me the way that I see myself, right? Because we spiritual beings, we only should be communicating with people who will celebrate us for having soulful, vibrational frequencies, and we spiritual beings should only talk to people who will only appreciate. Man, hold on. Us spiritual, soulful, vibrational beings, we should only talk to individuals who do not have a false perception of who they think that we are, right? So if you're a spiritual being, you have a biological father, a mother, a sister, a cousin, a co-worker, a zombie soulless vibrational friend that was local, that known you, any zombie locals that known you for a long time, you know, and they don't see your vision. We spiritual beings don't talk to zombie locals who know us for a long time that has a false perception of who we are, you know, because we spiritual beings, we should only talk to individuals who view us the same way that we view ourselves, because that's the best connections. There's not going to be any disconnect. So if a soulful vibrational being comes your way, you know they're a soulful vibrational being when they support your vision that you tell them. If you meet an individual that supports your vision that you share to them, that is a soulful vibrational spiritual being with a whole bunch of talent and a whole bunch of charisma and vibrant personality and high level spiritual soulful vibrational intelligence within them, that's gonna celebrate you for sharing your talents, and you want to branch out to locations where it's gonna be a bunch of other spiritual beings that's gonna support your soulful vibrational frequencies. You know, because that's the type of time that I'm on, right? I'm around a bunch of zombie locals who don't like me because I got soulful vibrational frequencies, right? I'm around a bunch of soulless vibrational beings who want to keep me stagnant in a zombie location. You feel me? So I'm just letting you know that.